Welcome to World Cup Nomad. I am the World Cup Nomad. My name is Steve Mascord, and I've just worked out it is 11 days since the World Cup started, but it's the 10th day of competition. And I'm here at the Penta Hotel in Warrington, and I'm off to a game in Warrington tonight. But I've got a very special guest from Malta and a pioneer of rugby league in Malta, Anthony Micalef. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Steve. Always good to catch up with you over the last 15 years. Pleasure.
Now, we were just talking. Well, you don't have an official title in Maltese Rugby League anymore, do you? We're not going. By the way, this isn't a serious podcast where we're going to talk about the ins and outs of participation in Malta. But just to set the scene for who you are, you kind of you're a civilian now, aren't you?
Yeah, and also assistant coach and team manager of the national team, however.
Oh, right, okay. So is this research for when Malta qualifies for the World Cup? Are you checking training grounds and hotels?
We can call it that, but I'm just enjoying being part of the celebration of our sport that is rugby league, watching rugby league at a pro level. It's the closest I can get to it. It's a 3-hour flight away, which took me about 36 hours to get here, and catching up with old rugby league friends, including yourself, because for me this is the guts and the glory of rugby league itself, the people and the game itself.
When you look at Jamaica and Greece at this World Cup, do you kind of dare to dream what it would be like to be team manager for Malta at a World Cup?
Yeah, I'm living their excitement as well. Romeo, coach of Jamaica, who I studied the same rugby league coaching courses with him at Brunel University in London back in the day. Remember him turning up to his first official rugby league meetings and whatnot. And then the Greeks, who are headed up by George Stylianos, and knowing that he's there in Athens at the moment, while his Greek team are experiencing the time of their lives and doing great things for the sport back in Greece. Some of that footage that we've seen in recent weeks of them celebrating in Greek pubs while the Greek team scores its first try and whatnot. Definitely a bit of dreaming going on, but also trying to somewhat keep that flame burning back in the homeland that is Malta, because hell, we need it.
Now, you were at Tonga in Wales last night, and you're telling me an amusing story, because people don't appreciate that the Tongan team doesn't just appeal to people within the rugby league footprint. It's actually spreading the rugby league footprint. And you told us a really good story to illustrate how new some of their fans are to the game. Can you just repeat what you saw last night?
Yeah, Tongans from all over in their flip-flops and, excuse my if I'm going to offend anybody, but wearing those Tongan skirts as well, men, women alike. And you get them from everywhere asking for autographs and players. And I know Adam Fanoa-Blake came over and they said, give us your autograph, give us your autograph. He signed something and he takes a picture and they said, who are you? And he looks at them like, what do you mean, who am I? They said, we're from California, we don't know, we just come to support Tonga. And that was the same for Christian Wolf. They saw him dressed up in Tongan garb. And they didn't know if he's a player or a coaching staff or a fan, but they said he's wearing that. I don't know what the name of that outfit is called, but they said if he's wearing that, he must be Tongan. And again, there were so many people from Utah, as I said, California, across the states. They're not all Tongans from Tonga. They're not all Tongans from Western Sydney, Brisbane, or the M62. They're Tongans from worldwide, and that's really great to see that. It is a Cup of the World, isn't it? It's the World Cup.
Yeah, that's a real World Cup when, we don't have a World Cup where, every country has accredited media, or every country has more than a few dozen travelling fans. And so it's entering a new era, really, when you have a country outside the big three who had travelling fans. And another story, which we kind of, I was on top of this, but we both know Sol Mokdad, who was once jailed for, fittingly, 13 nights for trying to start rugby league or for treading on the wrong toes in the UAE. And there's an interesting aspect of Sol playing in a warm-up game, isn't there, which had escaped me until you kind of reminded me. What's that?
Well, some would say it's a setup that he was jailed for 13 nights, and let's not celebrate the prison sentence or where he was locked up. But he is the CEO or the head of Lebanon Rugby Union, playing in the national team rugby league squad at a World Cup. This is insane. This is amazing stuff. And Sol, we're going to catch up again tomorrow. And we caught up again the other day. It was great to do so. Again, this is what the World Cup's about, bringing old friends together from the sport that we love, that is the greatest game. But you wouldn't get this anywhere else. The head of the Wallabies, I'm sure, is not going to turn out for Australian Rugby League, let alone is he physically able to. I mean, that's a story that only rugby league can deliver in 2022.
Yeah. Okay, we'll let you go, mate, because we're going to see you again. So tell us your travel plans. We're going to see you back. How much longer are you here, and when are you coming back?
I'm here for about another 7 or 8 matches over the next 7 days. Obviously, a bit of Malta Rugby League aspect. We played against Belgium at Headingley back in 2015. We won 35-34. And we've got a reunion of the squad at Headingley this Friday night, so we're going for a nice Italian meal at a restaurant down the road.
And then to the match.
Yeah, then to the match, and then the third half, as they call it, in union, right? I don't think it's so much of a league term, but we'll be having a good night. Leeds will meet Malta once again. And again, it's watching some of the heavyweights of International Rugby League in the Kiwis against some of the lesser knowns or lesser lights in Ireland and the like. So just catching up with as much rugby league as I can in this short visit.
I haven't booked my hotel for Friday night, and I'll tell you why, because I was in Hull on Sunday morning, and I think I left my wash bag, with all my stuff in Hull. And so if they still have my wash bag at the hotel in Hull, I'm going to stay there at that hotel on Friday night. That's how I'm going to choose my accommodation and get it back. But if it's not there, then I'll stay in Leeds and I'll join you. So we'll see you one way or another on Friday.
Most welcome. I think you've been following Malta Rugby League since inception almost, and a number of our players that have played at the highest level and at some of the amateur levels. So they'll be only too happy to see you there, Steve.
That was the end of the Cook Islands pre-match ritual. They're about to take on Papua New Guinea. And I'm here with a guy who's very much off duty from Fox, Aaron Wallace. How are you, mate?
Steve, it's great to be here.
What are you up to?
Just here watching the game tonight. We're trying to get to as many games as we can. I'm sort of based in Wigan for this tournament, so a lot of these games have been close, so easy to get here, so why not?
You say a lot of these games have been close. You don't mean on the scoreboard.
Unfortunately close in terms of proximity, but it's. I think you might get a good one tonight. I think this one will be close.
And this is your holiday, isn't it? You're not doing any work at all.
No, just here for a holiday. You'd think I'd watch enough rugby league during the season, but clearly not. So here we are, and hoping for a nice close one here.
Before we go, tell us about the fellas that you're hanging out with, because it's quite a good story how you met them.
It is actually. I was in a bar in Leeds at the 2013 World Cup, and my friend down here, Johnny Brown from Wigan, came and tapped me on the shoulder and said to me, "Aren't you Steve Mascord?" And that all spiraled out of control from there, and here I am back on about my 4th holiday in Wigan. So there you go.
We could actually be in different seats doing the complete the other thing that we're doing. You know what I mean? If it had been Steve Mascord.
Sliding doors moment.
Are you here until the final?
Well, that's controversial. If England make the final, I will be here until the final, yes.
Well, I reckon we'll speak to you again during the tournament, Wally. Nice to see you.
Beautiful, Steve. Great to see you, and I'll see you around.
So the game's over. It was 32-16, and Papua New Guinea beat the Cook Islands. And I was like, today's episode already has interviews. We don't need interviews. I was just going to talk on the way home. But I've walked into the Rodney because I wanted to upload a video, and I've come across two fellas I thought they were both in Cook Islands gear, but they're just both in green. And they're talking to a Papuan fella with a program in his pocket a second ago. And they're actually more interesting than I thought they were, because I thought they were two Toulouse fans, but they're not. They're not two Toulouse fans. So I'll just let you tell the story yourselves, guys. Who are you and why are you here?
Hello, my name is Eric. I'm actually from Hamburg in Germany, and I just flew into the UK today. So I flew from Berlin. Actually, I had to go to Berlin. Then was flying to Manchester, and I'm here to support the Cook Islands. I supported the Cook Islands tonight, and I go back to Germany tomorrow morning.
And why are you supporting the Cook Islands? I know you told me before we started recording, but for the listeners,
Yeah, so one of my friends, actually we met 11 years ago in Sydney, and I promised him if the Cook Islands are going to qualify for the World Cup, then I'll be around, and I'm going to support them. So that's why I'm here in Warrington now. And really nice place to be.
Yeah, it is. And introduce yourself.
My name is Cyril. I am from Carcassonne. I'm support the French team, the French roster. I'm this for watching the World Cup. I was here since 2 weeks. So yeah, we support the French Rooster, and today I have been to see this game, Cook Island against PNG. It was a really good game. I was enjoying, and also I know a couple of players from Cook Island, so I meet them after the game. So yeah, I was enjoying the game.
Are you here still for the whole tournament?
Yeah, no, maybe not all the tournament because I need to work. I'm policeman local in France, so I need to be back next Wednesday. So I would like maybe the final. Why not?
And this is what the listeners want to know. How did you guys meet? How did you come to be standing at the bar together?
Yeah, actually, I would say that's the best about rugby. So we just met at the train. So we both wanted to enter the train, and we looked at each other. So I looked at his gear, and he was having a rugby training shirt, and I was wearing Cook Islands shirt, and so then we just looked at each other and said, "Hey, we're going to Warrington together, yeah," and then we're going to see the match, and that's how probably friendships start.
Yes, indeed. And I was just, when I saw you, I was just tweeting. I was tweeted when I was over there because I was trying to upload a video, and I said that in the next World Cup there might be 3 guys in green. I thought you're from France, but you're not from France. And there might be 2 Papuans, and then the World Cup after that there might be 6 and 3, and that's what this is all about, isn't it? This is the beginning of it all, as far as growing the World Cup and growing the international game. Do you agree with that? Or?
Yes, yes, I think. To be honest, yes, yes, I think.
Because in football there's many thousands of people, but in rugby league it's very early, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame because as a rugby supporter, of course, I like watching rugby, and I don't like watching football, so because it's too boring. So there's way more action in rugby, and I would like to see more people getting involved into rugby, having matches in bigger stadiums, and everybody who likes rugby, they have to come to the matches and support the teams playing, no matter which team is playing. So come to the matches, buy your tickets. It's cheap, yes. So it costs only like 20 pounds, and so everybody come out from your home and go into the stadium.
At least we can say we were here when it started, right? Thanks for joining us, guys, and enjoy the World Cup.
Thank you.
Gern geschehen, bitteschön.